I'm sorry, it's been hell. I've been living in hell.
Death row inmates Stacy Johnson and Liddell Lee both scheduled to be executed tomorrow. Good evening, I'm Kevin Kelly.
I'm Donna Terrell. Those executions, however, could be put on hold. As we speak, a Pulaski County judge is considering a drug company's request to block the Department of Correction from using midazolam, one of the key drugs in the upcoming executions.
Yeah, the company claims ADC misled a sales representative by failing to disclose its drug would be used for executions. However, the ADC employee who made the purchase says he did state it was for executions. The company issued a credit to the ADC and asked for the drugs to be returned, which is something the ADC says it has not done yet.
But as of today, the ADC has not returned the drugs and intends to use it for execution. The Attorney General's office has objected to the hearing, saying a block would essentially function as a stay of execution, which only the Arkansas Supreme Court can issue. We're following this case very, very closely, but it could be a game changer for not only tomorrow's execution, but all of them.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
And Arkansas death row inmates also asking the U.S. Supreme Court to block executions based on one of the drugs in the state's protocol.
Now, they argue the drug protocol would cause cruel and unusual punishment. Our Washington correspondent Drew Petrimo in the nation's capital following the latest developments there. Drew.
Well, hey, Kevin and Donna, a flurry of legal motions here in Washington at the U.S. Supreme Court as the lawyers for the inmates work to try to have those executions halted. Meanwhile, the state fighting back, asking the Supreme Court to toss the inmates' case out. Now, the issue before the court is a lawsuit that claims use of the sedative midazolam in Arkansas's lethal injection protocol amounts to cruel and unusual punishment, which is barred by the U.S. Constitution. Other issues that could make their way to the Supreme Court include that challenge from the drug supplier that says Arkansas misled the company to acquire its drug.
I think a lot of it happens electronically, so I don't think that requires their being in a physical location in their office, but their justices are on call when these emergency petitions are filed.
Now, the Supreme Court is now at full strength with a 5-4 conservative majority. This week, Donald Trump appointee Neil Gorsuch took his seat on the bench. Death penalty experts here in Washington say they believe Gorsuch's nomination and appointment would make it more likely for the Supreme Court to deny requests by the inmates to stay their executions. Reporting live in Washington, D.C., I'm Drew Petrimo. Back to you.
All right, Drew, thank you.